All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Opinion City Podcast, a professional wrestling podcast where we debate the hottest topics of the past, present, future, and beyond. We're your hosts. I am Mancast-hawk.
And I am Parma-hawk.
This podcast is for you guys, listeners, so please, we love hearing your opinions. Reach out to us at opinioncitypod@gmail.com, and please, if you like what you hear, like, rate, and review our show wherever you get your podcasts, and please share us with your friends.
Let's get down to it. Today is going to be a super special episode. We had one of these people on all the way back in like episode 11. That was Razorwing. We now have all three members this week on the show. We're going to start off from the top and go work our way down. We have the Incredible Lucha Wonderbird himself, that is being Razerhawk.
Greetings. What's
We have
cracking?
the Scarlet Sparrow, Danjerhawk.
Salutations. What's up, guys?
And we have the Lightning Luchador, the newest member of the Xyberhawks, Thunderhawk.
Caw.
All right.
That was a good way to start off. What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
This is the first time ever that all three are in one episode. Guys, this is crazy. How are all of you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Fantastic.
Doing great.
Yeah.
Hanging in there.
Very cool. This is definitely our biggest episode of all time, just
Absolutely.
by count of people on the screen.
Yes.
But also just at the excitement level here for getting all three Cyberhawks together is very big. So we are
Super
jazzed.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just get right down to it, because I have to know what happened to the Cyberhawks originally, and what was the catalyst that brought you guys back together.
Who's gonna take this one? Not you, new boy.
Oh.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No,
Watching you already.
What do you think? DJ, what do you think?
I'll take it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So to answer the first question, I think a lot of things happened in like 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we just wanted a fresh start, something new. In retrospect, I guess we kind of like lost our way just because things, took its toll on us.
Right.
So we just, we rebranded and we just kind of separated ourselves from, cyberspace and everything. Like we just wanted to try something new.
Right.
And then, the blue guy over here showed up and kind of, Thunderhawk, I'll be nice. He showed up and, he just kind of showed us what we should be doing, like
Right.
his energy, training with him. I was like, you know what, this is where we should be, It took a little while to convince Razor.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did. I did notice. It took Razor a little bit longer to get, attached to this whole reuniting, if you will.
Yeah, but I pretty much knew right away as soon as he got in the ring, like, yeah, it's time to go back to being the Hawks. Like, this guy's the real deal, and like we'll be such a great trio. It'll be like old times, even better than old times. Honestly, I feel like we've upgraded.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I agree with that. You hit the nail on the head with it. Like 2020 happened, we were like, let's GTFO, do our own thing, and then this blue nerd came out of the blue, so to speak.
There he is.
Yeah. You're lucky you got Xyberhawk on your side, buddy.
Yeah. The big guy. I got the big guns on my side.
The big guy. The big guy.
Yeah.
That also played a huge part, Xyberhawk, like, once he gave his okay, it was like, let's do this.
Mm.
Plus, this guy talks. The other blue guy, he didn't talk,
Right.
I just grumbled a bunch.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's okay. I stole his phone.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
This is the phone
Alright.
you called me on. Remember that
Jeez.
piece of crap? Having me thinking I'm going crazy. I hear the friggin' Xyberhawk steam going off every now and then.
Had to get your
Crazy
attention some way.
Damn, that's crazy.
So, so speaking of Thunderhawk, so how do you exactly come about in all of this? What kind of made you decide to get yourself involved with the Xyberhawks and get them back together again?
So when I started training, about 2021, I believe. No, just working my way up, and then eventually I met Danger, and I've always saw Danger, Razor tag together, and I'm like, I want to be a part of that, and then eventually me and Danger, we start talking, and he's like, hey, why don't you tag with us? You're pretty good. Let me talk it over with my partner and see what he says. And I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely down, definitely down. And from there, we hit it off.
kind of.
I was gonna say, Razor, it took you a while to kind of warm up to Thunderhawk. What was it about him that just wasn't clicking with you? And are you guys on the same page now, kind of going forward?
He's creepy and he's a nerd. I'm kidding. No, but he's a nerd.
Wow.
Here's the thing. No, it's just like, okay, here's the thing. Like, Danger and I were doing our own thing, being fly, being awesome, being the air show. And we got this kid coming out of the woodwork being like, man, you should be birds again. And I'm like, let's not and say we did,
Yeah.
But what was it about him? Just, he don't know me. He don't know where I've been.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I don't know. I felt a little uneasy. Let's say I've definitely gotten my fair share of 419 scam emails, and I
Right.
can I can smell a fart when it woofs my way. And I thought I smelled a big old fart coming from the bluebird over there.
Yeah.
Turns out, he's really a bird. All right, good for you. Good for you. I hope your trip through cyberspace was long.
Yeah.
I'm just playing with you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nah, he's cool. Have you seen him go in the ring?
I have.
Yeah.
We've seen some
We were there.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
wearing the shirts. We were there when you guys re-debuted as the Cyberhawks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Front
you were at
row.
LVAC.
Yeah, we were at
we
the
were.
OBAC
Like
Steel Stack SmackDown 2 seeing the Cyberhawks reunite with Mantequilla going against the Lost Boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys kind of tell us how that experience was being back for the first time as a trio?
Felt great. It felt like old times, but better than old times. A little bit. There was pressure. I'm not gonna speak for all of you. Like, I'll let DJ and Thunder speak their piece after this. But there was a lot less pressure than there used to be. Back in the day, it was, everything had to be just perfect, and we would pour over things. Not that we don't practice, right? Because we do,
Right.
but the nerves that we were feeling, the nerves that I was feeling this time, were nerves of excitement and not nerves of dread. Oftentimes back in the day, I would just get this pit in my stomach before a match. Because back in the day, I was certainly hard on myself, and I'm not sure if anyone else can relate. But this time it was just, let's go out there, let's be the Hawks, let's have fun, and let's win this flipping thing. That was basically my thoughts on it, and it did. It felt great.
Danger.
Yeah, it felt right. Like doing it and afterwards and like the day of, it just felt right. Like it feels like this is what we should be doing. We made the right choice. Like, and it since then, like even before, honestly, even before that day, when we were doing promos, like it felt like, you know what, this is gonna be really fun. Like, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
What about you, newbie?
Yeah, I've had so much fun. The match that was the biggest match for me. My debut match. Um, Teaming with those guys much. The crowd was unbelievable. I've had so much fun. The promos as well, like Danger said, so much fun. And there's gonna be more promos coming. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Indeed.
Yeah, that stuff was really cool. It really kind of
Was awesome.
built some excitement for the return, and it definitely did not disappoint. The return was phenomenal. Just hearing the music, seeing you guys come out, it was for fans who have been around a while and seen the Hawks before and seeing them now again, it was really exciting.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so let's turn this back a little bit here. You guys did kind of allude to it a little bit, but after the Chikara shutdown, and of course this is really for Razor and Danger, you guys kind of had to go back to the drawing board as far as like what are we going to do now. So going back to the drawing board with your characters, how did you guys come up with your new looks, your new names?
You
You
want
would
I go
answer?
first? Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, cool.
So Mach 10, I just wanted a name that would look weird on like a graphic, on a poster,
Right.
like just something that like people would look at and be like, "What's that?" Like maybe I'll check this match out, maybe I'll watch it, just to see like, why is this person named Mach 10? Like, what is a Mach 10? And then the character, like I'm a fan of comic books and like animated like movies and stuff, so it's kind of like based on like a little bit of the Flash in there. So that was pretty much just how I came up with Mach 10, the character.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I wanted to divorce myself from the whole Xyberhawx thing, and so initially came up with Neo Wing, just to kind of keep like a little bit of that like bird sort of aesthetic, wings and all that, and Neo as like new wing, the
Right.
sort of like new like renaissance of this persona, as it were. And
I never knew that.
I had tried that name on for, I think, was it like a month and a half, something like that, and it just didn't feel right. It just didn't. I don't know, something. It didn't roll off the tongue well, at least for me. And so I decided to put the Razor back into it, and so Razor Wing. Yeah, basically like New Coke.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. So, how did the air show tag team come about? Like, whose concept idea was that? Was that like one of yours, or just somebody that just mentioned it offhand, or?
We were spitballing one night trying to come up with name. I think I've got a notes list of all the different names that we were considering. Wasn't this was your idea, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yep. Danger. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Well, our finish was called the Air Show when we were when we were originally the Hawks.
Mhm.
But then also, I just thought about like, how has nobody ever called themselves the Air Show? Like as a tag team, like that seems just like such a layup of a name, like easy name. Like it pretty much tells you what this team is and what they do and what they're about right away. You know.
Right.
So I was like, I'll just pitch it to him, see what he says, and he was into it. He loved it. And other people I ran it by, because I always try to like run by ideas by a bunch of different people I trust, and they were like, "Yeah, I like that. Like, let's try it."
That was like super early in the process too. What, it was like probably like July, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like shortly after everything went to heck.
Mm.
It was just like, all right, we're not the Hawks anymore. What are we? Oh, heck yeah, the air show. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, and not for nothing, and we certainly enjoy having the Hawks back, but you guys really gave those characters very distinct looks that still kind of had a tie back to the characters you played before that, and I mean you guys just look cool. The air show, that whole aesthetic, you guys guys look really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. We try.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Xyberhawks here. Let's imagine that someone who is watching this for the first time is now saying to themselves, "Okay, so who are these Xyberhawks? What are the Xyberhawks all about? What's like your mission statement here? So give the fans here a little kind of backstory on who exactly the Xyberhawks are."
Yeah, Razor.
Shall I take the reins?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, cool. The Xyberhawks are galactic defenders sent across the galaxy to this one right here, the Milky Way. Yes, indeed. We came from cyberspace. We are galactic defenders. We fight for truth, justice, and fun. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we like to get after it and fight evil. We've been sent here from our HQ to fight a great evil on this planet Earth. And our martial art of choice is professional wrestling. Lucha Libre specifically. Yes. Anything to add, birds?
I mean, I would say we all have our distinct personalities,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love danger. I love being like, there's a chance that I could lose. There's a chance that I can get hurt. I love like the
Right.
adrenaline rush.
Right.
I love it. I can't I have to put myself in that type of situation. And Thunder here, he's like the opposite. He's very laid back, very chill. He's like,
I definitely got that impression.
Yeah, I think that may be where the Thunder and Razor don't click, because I feel like Thunder is very laid back, while Razor, you're very much in the zone and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm very much not laid back.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not laid back.
So we mentioned it earlier. You guys have pretty much made Chikara your home since you've been here on Earth. But since the shutdown, where would you consider home to be now?
I mean, I would say we have a few different homes.
Yeah,
We really like it at Flying V. Yeah.
Flying V is fantastic. Dropkick
LVAC.
Depression's always been great. LVAC. Yep.
Yeah.
Labor of Love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Labor of Love has
PWE champ.
Yeah. I'm currently the PWE champion.
Nice.
Razor was the Dropkick Depression champion.
Yes, he was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Certainly was.
After
Thunderhawk's
over a year of not wrestling, he comes back and wins the belt, man. It's just we had mentioned that on his episode previous, how crazy it was to be not wrestling at all to wrestling like 3 matches on like the same day.
I was telling these fellas, DJ, I was like, yeah, it definitely had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder coming back after that.
I remember.
Because, we sitting on the sidelines for so long, I definitely was like, nah, let me show them how it's done.
Yeah, I would say those 4 to 5 places we named, we pretty much primarily consider our homes. LVAC, Flying V, Labor of Love, Dropkick Depression, PWE.
Yeah.
We had mentioned it on the show previously, but like out of all of those you just mentioned, LVAC feels the most like the same vibe, I would say, as Hikara was. Would you say the same thing?
I would agree with that. What do you think, Razor?
Yeah, very much. It's definitely like a party atmosphere. Not to mention like of the Chikara originals, the Chikara mainstays, I should say. Make their home at LVAC. But yeah, no, it's definitely that sort of fun atmosphere where it's truly just a joy to be there.
Yeah, I think the way I described
got any
it,
thoughts, Thunder? Oh, sorry.
I'm
sorry,
talking
my
about
bad.
it. Oh no, you're good. But we've described it previously on this show as a family. Like, you feel a part of something. You feel a part of a family. You see, the same people at shows. You get to know the wrestlers up close and personal, and you start to feel like a family there, and that's
Mhm.
like a carryover from the way that a lot of the fan base felt going to Chikara shows, and now we have something like the LVAC, which is kind of carrying on that family tradition.
Certainly.
For sure.
Very cool. So since you guys have been back, do you have maybe a favorite match that you've been in so far? Favorite thing you've done so far since you've kind of been back as a trio?
What do you think, Razor? I have one, but what do you think?
I want to say that our match at Labor of Love might have been my favorite.
Ooh.
Just because it was our first one as a trio, right? And it was great to be in there with Cheeseburger, Abby Jane, and Ryan Mooney, three wrestlers that I respect greatly. Cheeseburger is our trainer at the Worldwide Dojo, and
Sure.
Right.
he's a fantastic mind. He has a fantastic mind for wrestling, and just being able to kind of get in there and see how he works in the moment, and learn a little bit on the fly from him. It's one thing to be at the dojo training under him. It's an entirely different thing to be across the ring from him. And I'm sure, Danger, you can speak to this. When you get in that ring, when it's like the bell has rung and it's go time, he does not hold back. He definitely he's no stiff arm when it comes to training. But when you get in that ring, man, it's fisticuffs, it's putting you in holds, it's tying you up, and it's he can get a little nasty sometimes, and that was a side of him that I was not expecting. That I saw at Labor of Love, and yeah, it was wild. It was just wild. It was a fun match to be a part of. It was a difficult match, and we earned. I should say Danger earned the victory for us, but goodness gracious, it was hard fought, but yeah, I'd say that's my favorite.
Okay. So for me, I actually had the chance to wrestle Burger after that match in a singles match. It was a closed studio taping. It'll be out soon. That was definitely probably one of my favorite matches, maybe like top 10 or top 5 like that I've ever had. It was really intense, and it felt good to do it as Danjerhawk.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels like, coming full circle. I definitely feel like it's the best match I've had as Danjerhawk. So it's just a good feeling to like come back to this character, this name, and to put on a match like that this early, especially like after the first two, which were also a lot of fun. It just felt like, a lot of good momentum behind this character, like behind this rebrand, this reboot.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah, for me, I agree with Razor. The Labor of Love show, that one was my favorite. Getting in the ring with Burger, getting in the ring with Ryan, Abby, yeah, and our first match as a trio. That one was my favorite for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's very cool. You guys have like whether it was this iteration or prior, do you have like a defining moment as the Xyberhawks that you guys think was like the moment for you guys, whether it was the old iteration or the new version of you guys?
Ooh.
Throwing out the hardball question.
I know, right? Just giving them
This one's a little tricky.
Gotta give them the hard questions. You can't always have easy ones. Gotta give them a little bit. Gotta throw a little bit of a curveball.
Yeah,
there were so many defining. There were so many defining like I guess, narratives with the old Hawks. There was our constant battles at King of Trios, where it was like we could never get out of the first round. And sadly, that story was never paid off. Then there was our feud with the creatures of the deep, and we eventually got a little bit of a win there. It was at the end of, goodness, was it season 18? I think it was closing time. Like I finally beat them. And then there was our feud with Fist.
Yeah.
But I don't know that there was like a defining moment for the Hawks, at least in the old days. Yeah, I almost, yeah. Well, what do you think? What do you think?
I mean, I have two, like, personally,
Yeah.
that was like a defining moment. Like winning the Alliance Cup.
Yeah, they did like Danjerhawk specifically, though, right?
Yeah, Dangerhawk specifically. But we both did that, so that could be a defining moment.
That's true. That's fair. Yeah.
You know,
Where's your
guess-
Young Lions Cup at, Thunder?
no. I don't have it at this house. It's not at this house. It's at another house that I frequent.
Oh, that's the other house. Yeah.
I don't own that. I don't own either.
He can't remember exactly which house it was. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
So many of them.
There's so many houses, exactly.
So many houses. So speaking about that, do you think that maybe, you mentioned, like, for example, the King of Trios, where you guys never really kind of, that story never really kind of wrapped up. Do you have the feeling that, like, the Xyberhawks the first time around really didn't get much of a closure to a lot of their storylines? And do you think that, this new iteration will really help kind of remedy some of those things?
For sure. We really didn't get the team that much, like, as a tag team back then. Like, just Razor and I, we only had like maybe 2 or 3 tag matches, because we were in so many, like, Atomicos and trios matches and singles matches. So I felt like there was a lot more to be explored there, and it seemed like we were headed that way towards the end, to being more like a tag team, just me and him.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, like, that'll be fun, and then also, like, doing trios with Thunder, that'll be a lot of fun. But to that previous question, I don't know if it may be a defining moment, but at least, like, my favorite match, we had like a Atomicos match, Razor. It was like you and I, Solo and Weber. Now Weber.
Yeah.
I think we
That was
wrestled.
back when we were Diatomicos.
Right.
We did the album cover and all that. Yeah.
I think we wrestled like Crumbles and Defarge, Hollow Wicked, and Travis.
Yes.
That was definitely. I remember.
Match.
Yeah, I remember that match. That was definitely. I think that was probably my favorite match that I had in Jakara. And it definitely felt like a defining moment. Like, I felt like we were, like, everything just clicked in that match. Like, our double team stuff, our single stuff. Like, I felt like that was a defining moment.
That was
us,
a really good
sure.
one.
Yeah, especially
the
that
tallest member of our team.
Yeah. And
Everyone
like-
seems to have the same idea, but I'm going to ask you guys as well, because everyone seems to have the same notion about one person, and hopefully one day we can get him on the show, and that being Hollow Wicked.
Yes. Legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody,
Yeah.
I look to as a mentor, even though, he's not the nicest, because, he's a little pumpkin
He's a little
man.
spooky.
Yeah, he's a little spooky. But I've learned so much from him that, just I have the utmost respect for him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah,
the GOAT.
we need just a little more Hollow Wicked and a little less Nazmuldoon, and we'll be okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Very cool. So do you guys, now just talking about wrestling a little bit, do you guys keep up with some of the current products out there? Do you guys watch the stuff on TV? And what kind of stuff do you really, do you have like a favorite promotion that you follow, or what do you guys watch?
Who wants to go?
Somebody start.
I don't really watch anything these days. I'll be honest.
There you go.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's one
Not
down.
gonna lie. Not
Oh,
gonna
That's
lie.
one down.
Not
That's
even gonna
one down
front.
right there.
Yep.
This one.
I catch clips, and that's basically about it. Because
Mhm.
full-time shoot gig, 2 kids, home life, etc., etc. I barely make it to training, but you know, I'm hoping
Hey.
to change that. I'm hoping to change that. The little one just turned 2, so
Aw.
he's becoming a little bit more self-sufficient, and I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to like leave him home alone coming up in just a little bit. So yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good.
Yeah, he could
But,
start answering the transmissions now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's got it in his blood.
I catch AEW. I catch AEW. I'd say that's probably my current favorite promotion, just because it's got a lot of the people that I enjoy watching.
Yeah.
But I
Exactly.
sadly do not watch it as often as I would like.
What about you, Thunder? I'll go last.
AEW, that's the one that I watch every week. And
Mhm.
I love that they introduce like people from all over the world. We see guys from
Right.
Japan, see guys from Mexico.
Mhm.
That's what I enjoy the most. I watch it every week.
Yeah, I try to watch a lot of stuff. I keep up with WWE. I might not like it, but I keep up with it.
Yeah,
Right.
I watch
Yeah, people
AEW. Yeah. Yeah, I watch AEW, watch Impact. I wish I watched more like obscure stuff, but I watch Stardom, New Japan. I just got back into Dragon Gate before the pandemic. I was watching like a lot of Dragon Gate shows, and then the pandemic happened, kind of threw me off because I was a big fan of Dragon Gate like back in the day. So I try and keep up with like what's going on currently, and I keep up with the indie scene, like what's going on.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm.
It's so hard, because like the wrestling product currently is such a double-edged sword, because there's
Right.
so much product out there, so you have so many choices available to you. So any type of wrestling you like, there's going to be something out there for you. But that's also the problem, because it's so hard to
Yeah, there's so much
it's
out
so
there.
hard
Yeah.
to keep up with all the stuff that's going on like every week. It's just it does feel like a second job sometimes, just
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
watch
Watch
all the wrestling that's
yeah.
available. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for
Pretty
sure.
crazy.
Yeah.
So we mentioned it a little bit on our about 2 episodes ago. We had a guy, ABJ podcast. Shout out to Anthony Blackwell. We were talking about the indie wrestling scene, and I was wanting to ask you guys, why is it so different from the mainstream, and why, at least in my opinion, it's so much more fun to go to an indie show than like a mainstream show. It's just, what do you guys think is such? How is it so much, in my opinion, more special than a regular mainstream show?
It's a lot more intimate, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Like, usually you go to these places and there's only maybe like 5 or 6 rows of seats, so there's really not usually a bad seat in the house. Everyone's pretty much going to get their money's worth if the wrestling is any good. And yeah, only at an indie show really can you kind of yell at the performer and have them
Yeah.
really react or deviate from whatever their plan was, right?
I don't know
Like,
anything about that. I don't do that at
No.
all to anybody ever.
Yeah.
I remember my friend Marty, who runs Super Art Fight now. I remember a long time ago, back in the day, he was talking about going to a Ring of Honor show, and it was him and our friend Travis Chase, and they both did one of these numbers, oh, to Jerry Lynn at an ROH show, and Jerry Lynn was like had someone in a hold. I think it could have been Daniels or something. Anyway, it was Jerry Lynn definitely in the ring, and he had someone in a hold, and he was just like looks up at my friend Marty, and he's like, "What the flip?" Right? Like cocks his head, was like very confused. So it's like, you're not going to get that at any of these big arena shows unless you're maybe in the front row. But even then, it's like the folks in the ring are worried about so much more stuff than just the wrestling aspect of it. You've got commercial breaks to deal with. You've got a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, indie shows are just they're organic. They're real,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna agree. Like, it's just that it's intimate, like that intimate setting. Like, you can have a conversation during intermission with
Right.
Razor, with Thunder, with me. I think that goes a long way because you become invested in the wrestlers, like as you like have these conversations with them, and like you get to learn more about their personalities. So I think that's just the biggest reason is how intimate the setting is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally.
A bird, a few words.
Bird of, he doesn't say
That's
much,
crazy.
does he? He doesn't say much, does he?
That's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy.
Man, that's crazy.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about you guys individually here for a moment. So what do you and you can, whoever wants to start off on this one, whatever order you want to go in is completely fine. But what do you guys like to do outside of the ring? Like what are the Xyberhawks doing in their free time besides defending the galaxy?
24/7 defending the galaxy. No,
There you go.
Mr. No Days Off over there. That's
honestly
fantastic.
a little bit. Like I watch so much wrestling. I study so much. Like when I was answering the question previously, obviously that was about stuff that's like today, but I watch like a lot of old stuff too. So like especially recently, I've been watching like a lot of like Michinoku Pro and Dragon
wow.
Gate and
Yeah.
Toryumon and like all that type, like that era of stuff, and like Stardom and everything. Like I just been watching so much wrestling and training, but I do like to hang out with friends. Go see a movie, go to a comic book store, go to the arcade, hang out. That's kind of what I do. Go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not much.
Nice. You do. You send a lot of links to like a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
I wish I had the time. I did just today. I was watching Ashes of Chikara actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm just like kind of organizing my archive, and I was like, oh yeah, here's an old one. Yeah, no, I like to. I've just been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
I like to play Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
My daughter likes to watch me play Tears of the Kingdom. She's always like, "Daddy, play Zelda." I'm like, "Okay, let's go." Right. And it's like, hey, this is counting toward your screen time, kid. So she's like, I don't know. I like to play games. I like to cook. I just made a huge pot of chicken soup yesterday. I'm gonna be eating that for the rest of the week. So that's cool. Great. I like watching cooking shows on YouTube. I like to work out whenever I can, whenever I can wake up early enough to do so. But
Yeah.
I like to sleep. I like to sleep a lot.
Oh,
Sleep
that's
is
a good one.
good.
Yeah.
I don't get enough of it, but when I can get it, oh man, I love it.
I love sleep. I love it. It's
Yeah.
my favorite thing.
The best
It's so
thing
good. It's I hate going to sleep, but I hate waking up more.
I don't know, man.
How does that work?
I hit that pillow and it's like 2 minutes and I'm out. Like there's there's no transition period there. It's like lights out.
I'm such a night owl. I usually stay up until like at least 2 a.m.
Same.
And
That's
Same.
me. Yeah.
I can't shut off. It's difficult to shut off. And it could be like my rattled ADHD brain.
Yep.
But like I just it's just I'm laying there and I'm just like, hey, remember that thing you did 15 years ago? That was really embarrassing, and you can never take that back. How do you feel now?
I feel that, man. I feel that. I feel that all too well.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't like going to sleep. But once I'm asleep, oh man, there's no place I'd rather be.
Good time.
I love going back to sleep when I wake up.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that's a
going back.
good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. That's my favorite part of sleep.
That is a
Heck
good
yeah,
one.
heck yeah. You wake
So-
up and it's like, you know what? I still got 3 more hours. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
That's the
That's
best
the
feeling in the world.
So
Yeah,
Thunder, what do you got?
yeah.
I was gonna say,
So lately, what I've been doing is I've been working out like every week now. I just got a personal trainer, so I'm really trying to
Wow.
nice.
be consistent with that.
Yeah.
Play a lot of video games, man. A lot of video games. just beat the Spider-Man 2 game. Oh man,
Nice.
Listen,
that
I am
game's
so
crazy.
far behind on that. I have Spider-Man and I have Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I
Mhm.
never started Miles Morales, so I kind of forgot how to play. So I'm going back to play Spider-Man so I can remember how to play and be good at it. And I'm kind of working my way through, but I have just heard phenomenal things about 2.
Oh yeah, this is my new favorite game now.
There you go.
It's really incredible. It's very story driven. Very story driven.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
So we've heard Razor's story from back in episode 11, but we haven't heard you, Danger, or you, Thunder's story. So why don't you guys tell us kind of your backstory and kind of where you started this whole wrestling journey?
You wanna go Thunder?
You go, Danger. Sorry.
You go
Tad,
first.
you're it.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what
much.
you do.
Okay,
That's
I'll
funny.
go.
Did I can't remember. Real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Did I kayfabe mine, or was I telling it legit? I can't remember.
No,
I'm pretty sure yours was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were there legit with yours.
Yeah, I think for the
Yeah,
most
pretty
part,
sure
I
it
don't.
was definitely.
Yeah, I
legit,
think you were pretty
yeah.
legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No worries.
I mean, if you want to make something up now, I'm okay with it.
No, great. No. Let's keep it. Whatever y'all want to do, though, go ahead. I was just curious.
So for me, I decided I wanted to be a wrestler. I think I was probably 13 or 12, and I never faltered from it. I decided then I want to wrestle. I started looking up wrestling schools. I picked which wrestling school was a good choice to go to, and I just stuck to it. I'm from Philadelphia, so there was only a few schools that I could possibly go to.
Right.
And I got into Dragon Gate USA after I saw Naruki Doi and Masato Yoshino wrestle the Motor City Machine Guns on Impact one day when I was in 2008, when I was 13. I saw that match, and I saw they were smaller guys, and they were just moving around and doing all this cool stuff, and I was like, you know what, I can do it. I can do this. I never had that thought before in my mind. I was a wrestling fan my whole life, but I never was me actually being a wrestler, because all the guys that I was watching on TV were just huge. They're like action figures. They weren't real.
Right.
So seeing those guys kind of changed my perspective. And watching Dragon Gate USA, I saw the Chikara guys on there. So just a layup at that point. I was like, these guys wrestle a similar way. They're close to the guys that I'm a fan of. They're on the same shows. I should go train here because I want to do what these guys are doing. I want to wrestle that way. I want to wrestle that style. So that kind of introduced me to Chikara, and that's how I ended up at the Wrestle Factory originally.
Right.
For me, so the moment I decided I wanted to become a professional wrestler, I was watching WrestleMania 30, and the main event, big main event, Bryan Danielson, achieved the ultimate underdog story, winning the World Heavyweight title, and I'm like, this moment is too good not to make me want to become a professional wrestler. So ever since there, I've been hooked. And then, once I turned 18, I'm like, it's time to start looking up schools. And as I started looking up, the closest school was the dojo, the Worldwide Wrestling Dojo.
Right.
So I go, my first day there, no burgers there. He's like, hey, we're going to have you work out on the floor. You're not going to get in the ring yet. So I'm like, oh, man. I'm looking forward to getting in the ring. So as we're doing the workouts, I'm just like, oh, man. I'm not sure if I'm cut to be a wrestler because I'm like, those workouts. Oh, man. Those workouts made me want to quit day one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they were tough workouts, but kept coming back every week, and it just fell in love with it more and more as I started to learn more, taking bumps, learn how to do a suplex, learn how to do body slam. It's just ever since there, man, it's It's been a joy. It's been a real dream come true to just be a wrestler. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, same.
Pretty wild.
Damn, that's crazy.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
He said it. He said the thing.
Oh goodness, good time.
So, throughout the history of the Xyberhawks here, you know, we've heard about we know about Silverhawk, but here's an interesting question: Are there any other hawks out there that we might not know about yet? And here, and I'm gonna throw this. We're gonna throw this in at the end here just to see, you know, what everybody's got to say. But what happened to Nighthawk?
Nighthawk's Weber Hatfield.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Weber Hatfield was always Nighthawk.
Yes.
Okay.
He took his mask off and shrunk a few, like a foot.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Once you take it off, you
That's-
shrink a little bit.
Yep. That's what I hear.
That's
That's
what
a
I'm hearing. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Evil Kip took my mask off, I shrunk like 2 feet.
Wow.
It was crazy.
I'm sure he put it right back on then because he was
Yeah,
like,
right.
No, we can't have this.
He was in shock.
Well, I mean, the thing was, a referee was trying to put the thing on. I think who the heck was it? Was it Papa G? I think it might have been Pop. No, it was Sonic. Sonic was trying to put the mask back on me, and then Ron Voyage came in, stepped on my ankle, and almost broke it. But then we got the mask back on me, and then I grew 2 feet. It was great.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Well,
Yeah.
there you have it. There's a worldwide exclusive right there.
So,
Weber Hatfield was Nighthawk.
but
The cat's out of the bag now.
but are there
Always
any
has
other
been,
hawks
always will.
out there other than Nighthawk, or is it
That's
just you four?
I
gonna
can
say,
neither
how do you-
confirm nor deny.
Yeah, how do you want to handle
Ah,
this?
Keeping
are-
secrets. Keeping
I mean,
the secrets.
We have a headquarters, so I mean, it's kind of like there got to be more of us, right?
Well,
I'm fairly certain all my friends and family back in cyberspace were to mirages.
Will we ever see Silverhawk in the ring again? That's the real question.
ooh,
Yeah.
good one.
Honestly, I think that's up to Silverhawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
best way we can. Best way we
That
can
would
put
be
it.
that would be kind of rad. That would definitely that would be fly. That's for sure.
Yeah, that would be fly. So I got one question, and this was not something we planned, but just something I thought of. So for each of you individually, and then you guys as a trio, who's one person that you haven't wrestled yet that you'd like to wrestle?
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah.
Claudio.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
that's a good one. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I would
Top
I would
of my
agree.
list.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'll try and
Yeah.
switch it up a little bit. I was thinking the other day, Lee Moriarty
Ooh, he's good
Oh.
too. He's very good. Yeah.
would be a fun match for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I was thinking. I don't know why I was just thinking this. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. I was just thinking.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh,
Okay.
Interesting.
I think I could have a lot of fun in the ring with him.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
Stay away from them vehicles.
Yeah.
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 Oof.
Right.
Oof. Yeah. So as a trio, is there somebody you guys would like to wrestle?
Hmm. I would say Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh man. I think that would be a cause to bring out Razor or Hellraiser, not so much
Oh.
Razerhawk.
Oh
that
yeah,
would be
100%.
that would be 100% a Hellraiser match if I've ever heard of one.
I
Oh.
put the black mask on and we just go. Like there's we're certainly not going to be doing flips in that match. Let's say
No,
No,
not
no.
at all. No.
Well,
That wouldn't be a Flippy Doodah kind of match.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh well, and
I
not to
would-
get too far off here, but you know, we know about Hellraiser, Danger and Thunder. Do you guys have any alter egos we don't know about?
It's gonna have to wait and see.
All right.
You never know.
I'm
In the
gonna
future.
rack up some head injuries and then the
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I would say to answer that question, I've seen Worker Ant has been popping up at Labor of Love
Ooh.
a lot recently with
Yeah.
Baltimore Ant and Electro Ant. So
Uh-oh.
that'd be a fun, be a
Yeah.
fun trios match. We never really got to do that much in Chikara, So
Yeah.
There was
That's
never
true. But,
a Xyberhawk versus the Colony match.
there has been one. Well, there was an air show colony
It was,
match.
yeah,
Okay.
air show
Mm.
colony. That was at PA Slam Fest this past year.
Okay.
I gotta message Vince and see if I can get that footage because it hasn't gone up on IWTV yet. Last year's PA Slam Fest is up, so I just assumed that this one was going to be up within a relatively short time frame. But yeah, no, I haven't seen anything. It was definitely recorded. I saw cameras.
Yeah.
It's out there
It was
somewhere.
a good match. We had fun in that match.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
But
We'd love to run it back.
Yeah. Let's run it
Yeah.
back as a trio. I think that would be great. Yeah. Did you want individual answers on this, or were you just looking?
No,
for
it could be whatever. It doesn't have to
Okay.
be.
I was gonna say, shoot, man. We'd I wouldn't mind doing the Hardys and maybe Shane Helms.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That.
Nice.
Omega.
That would be
Omega.
cool.
Yeah, little Omega versus the Cyberhawks. I think that'd be
Oh,
great.
wow.
I would have like to see that if it was Willow versus Razor. That would be a match.
Oh, no.
That would be a match.
Or Hellraiser. Hellraiser and Willow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. That'd be wild.
Very cool.
Be crazy for that one.
All right. I think it's time we take a little break, Ralph.
Yeah. So now that we've had a chance to learn a little bit about the Cyberhawks, we're going to take a short break here while you check out a message from our sponsor, Ref Larry's Wrestling Collectibles, and then we will be back with our gigantic, absolutely huge main event right here on Opinion City.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Introducing Ref Larry's Wrestling Collectibles, your ultimate destination for all things wrestling nostalgia. At Ref Larry's Wrestling Collectibles, they don't just sell items, they curate memories. Whether you're a fan of the classic era or modern showdowns, they've got something for everyone. Ref Larry's Wrestling Collectibles sells DVDs, books, magazines, action figures, and so much more. So stop on by Ref Larry's Wrestling Collectibles, where every piece tells a story and every fan becomes a part of the legacy. Ref Larry's Wrestling Collectibles is conveniently located inside Mother Tucker's Antiques and Collectibles, located at 566 North Reading Road in Ephrata, PA. Stop on by Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give them a call at 717-405-0153 or find them on social media at Ref Larry's WC. Ref Larry's Wrestling Collectibles is a proud sponsor of the Opinion City podcast. And now, back to the show.
Yo, I popped for the party people in that. That was cool.
We want to thank
Yeah.
Ref Larry's Wrestling Collectibles for being a proud sponsor of the Opinion City podcast. If you'd like to be a sponsor, please send us an email at opinioncitypod@gmail.com. Ralph, you know what that means?
I do know what that means. And before we get to that, though, I do want to comment on the party people. I love
That is the best part. That is the best part right at the end.
Oh, yeah, that pops me every time. So yeah, that means that it is now time for our main event.
Main event.
All right. So we
They,
always let our guests pick their top 5,
Yep.
and this week you guys did not disappoint.
This week is a throwback, if you will.
Again, yes,
Throwback.
another throwback, which is great because it's very appropriate for this week's episode.
Absolutely. They chose top 5 wrestling factions, which I think is an homage to our, second episode of the show, which
Quite
is
some
crazy.
time ago, yeah.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go down the list and start with Razor. And if you guys want, we can just go down list by 5, then 4, then 3, and then so on and so forth.
I like it.
So we'll start off number 5. our number 5 is with Razor.
So we're doing 5 and then 5 and then 5 and then
Yep.
Yep.
like that, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. I
Yeah.
want to make sure
Correct.
I know
Correct.
the rules
No,
of
I
the
got
game.
you.
Rules of the game.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, cool. Coming in at number 5 for me, I'm gonna say the Dudleys, the Dudley
Ooh.
family.
Okay.
I didn't really know a whole heck of a lot about Big Dick Dudley, but Rubber Maid, Devon, and Spike were 3 of my favorite performers when I was kind of in my golden years of wrestling fandom, let's say.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're my number 5. The Dudleys of ECW, and later on, WWE. They just, man, all of the table stuff and just Spike taking all those crazy bumps and
All
spills
the
was
bumps.
just
Oh, man, yeah.
all the bumps, all the bumps. But yeah, Dudley's are great. Dudley's number 5 for me.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, let's move down the line to Danger. What do you got at number 5?
All right, I'll go. He went ECW. I'll go WCW. I'm gonna go
Okay.
Filthy Animals.
Ooh.
Mm.
Good
Wow.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I like their style, like the clothes,
Mhm.
and and their in-ring style. Obviously, like Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio, Conan, but mostly it's just the style. Like I just like the gear, the stuff they would wear. Like it was just
Right.
different, you know. They just look so cool to me. They're so chill and laid back.
Yeah. So your number 5 and Razor's number 5 are interesting because they both are groups that make like these huge fashion statements. Like the Dudleys obviously had their look with
Yeah.
the overalls and the tie dye and everything, and then you kind of fast forward to the Filthy Animals where again they have this look that's very much kind of really cool for the time period that they're wrestling. So that's kind of neat that you guys both came up with teams that are like fashion icons on the
Yeah,
side
right.
in their own right.
Fashionistas of the wrestling world.
There you go.
All right, so hopefully Thunder's got a number 5 that's fashion forward as well. I hope it's the Mean Street Posse.
For me, I tried to go with like people who I had like memory of watching live. So
Okay.
I picked for 5 I picked Evolution. I didn't get to see
Ooh.
much of them, but
Mhm.
I saw enough to where I could put them there. Obviously Randy Orton, he's one of my favorites. Either
Right.
Babyface or Hill, Batista as well. So if I watched them more, maybe I would have ranked them a little higher. But
Mhm.
I didn't watch them enough. So I was like, I'll put them at 5. But I feel like they
Right.
were good to make my list. Yeah.
Well, I think you fit the bill there because from the moment you saw that very first promo with Evolution, the one where they had Mark Jindrak and then had to replace him, where they're kind of coming up over the hill and
Yeah.
they're all in the suits and
Oh
know,
yeah.
they give you a feel and a vibe. There's just
Oh, yeah.
something that that you're looking at guys that at least in their own mind are greatness. Even they eventually ended up all having titles at one time, but it's just this very Horseman-esque vibe of like we're
Right.
better than everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right.
Moving on to number 4.
Yeah.
Razor.
Number 4 for me is going to be DX.
Hey.
Pretty much all iterations of DX.
I was just gonna
but,
say
like,
which version.
okay, so for me, like quintessential DX, this is like when I got back into wrestling after getting it beaten out of me in middle school, right? So high school comes along, all my friends are talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, right? All this stuff, and I'm like, what are these jokers like? We got Stunning Steve Austin from WCW, and we got
Right.
the Connecticut Blue Blood. They're the popular people now. Okay, all right. So I flip it on one night, and I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, this is way different than what I was expecting. It's
Right.
like actually cool, right? So the DX that I would say is like quintessential like DX for me, Triple H, New Age Outlaws, China, and X-Pac.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the DX that I'm very very familiar with. Yeah, obviously there was like the DX reunion, all that stuff, and then there was like the original DX, where like Rick Rude was a part of it, and Michaels and all that. But that wasn't like I wasn't really watching the product at that point. But
Right.
yeah, DX. I mean, some of the most memorable theme songs, like, oh my goodness, what was it?
Oh, yeah.
WWE, was it Aggression
Yes.
that had the one with,
that is
was it
one
Run
of the
DMC?
best DX theme
Mhm.
songs ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Ever.
good.
So good.
Yeah,
Amazing.
but
That music video for that too was so good.
oh yeah,
Oh,
So
Mhm,
good.
mhm.
Yeah.
Such a good song. Anyway, I'll stop talking. Number
No,
4,
that's-
DX.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up the X. I watched a video yesterday. X-Pac was talking about the promo that he cut the night that he came back. You know, after WrestleMania, Triple H is reforming DX,
Yeah.
going through the whole like,
Mm.
you know, you got to bring in your friends, you got to turn to the click. So during that promo, there's a line in that promo where he says Kevin Nash and Scott Hall would be with us too if they weren't being held hostage by WCW. He actually got
Right.
sued for that.
Yep.
And he got sued, and during the lawsuit, the lawyer said to him, "Why would you say something like that?" And he's like, "Well, because Kevin told me to say it." He's like, he thought it would sound cool, so he told me like you should say this, and so that's what I did.
Right.
And that just makes them even cooler.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you know,
great.
that takes it to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Danger, we're up with your number 4.
Number 4, okay. This is a more personal pick. I'm gonna go Incoherence.
Ooh.
Hollow,
That's tremendous.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick.
Hollow Wicked, Frightmare, and Ultramantis. I just have a lot of respect for all three of them as wrestlers, as people, and then even as characters. Like, I really love characters in wrestling where like you can make cool fan art of them.
Right.
Just endless cool fan art.
Right.
That's
Right.
part of the reason why I love being Danjerhawk.
Yeah.
Like, I always love seeing like new art and like new gear and like. So I definitely got to go with them. Like, I just love their look and their skill in the ring. Like, Hollow Wicked's one of my favorite wrestlers, like of all time, obviously. So
Big Sam.
Very cool. Yeah, that's a
Very
a
good.
great pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Thunder, we're up to your number 4.
All right. So number 4, I kind of wanted to put them a little higher, but I decided to go with Undisputed Era.
Ooh, they
Wow.
are a great faction.
Oh, man,
Great faction.
Everything that they did, you know, just the way each member came in, the Roderick Strong heel turn, shocking heel turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Having
right.
every
Good stuff.
championship in NXT, it was my favorite time of watching. You know, that NXT Black and Gold era was
Mhm.
it was special.
Yeah. No, they absolutely were. I think they were like a modern day DX or a modern day NWO. 'Cause
Yeah.
They had, I say more NWO because they had sort of like a same theme vibe that NWO had, with the
Mhm.
heavy guitars and like the very much looping theme song. But it was just an epic theme song to match, you know, their style.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I like the Undisputed Era just because of kind of what they represented, that time in NXT where, you know, guys were really kind of allowed to go out there and really do their own thing and kind of build themselves. And the Undisputed Era is also a great example of a faction where you look at, you know, everybody in the group and, you know, everybody was just as good as the group as a whole. And you could really tell that they gelled well together. Like they really enjoyed being a faction
Right.
together. And I think
Oh,
that's always important when you're trying to talk about, like, you know, what makes a really good faction. It's got to be that sort of brotherhood.
Yeah.
Definitely feel that from them.
Yeah. Totally agree with that.
Awesome.
all right, number 3s. Let's go. Getting down to the nitty gritty here. Razor, you're up.
This is gonna be a weird one. Fist.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Fist. Just all the iterations, all the great iterations. Yeah, Chuck Taylor being just such a crazy wild card, and Icarus just being Icarus.
Oh, my.
Akuma just being that lethal enforcer. Heck, Gargano was in there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And even like New Fist, like Travis and Tony, along with Icarus, like they were still like just a dangerous force, right? They were just brutal. Like every single time I was in the ring with them, every single time I was watching them from the sidelines with someone else in the ring with them, I was just like, everything looks like it hurts. And yes, everything hurts.
Yeah.
And like Tony filled that wild card role so well. Like he played the Chuck Taylor part perfectly. Like, not that he was necessarily like supposed to or told to, like it just kind of happened that way. Like Bob Ross says, it was a happy little accident. And
Yeah,
Vince
exactly.
was just, like, they were just a whole nother thing. And I just always enjoyed watching them in Chikara, but I can't say it was a joy to be across the ring from them.
Yeah.
They were definitely great. They were definitely great opponents, but pulled no punches. So yeah, number 3, Fist.
I agree with that.
What I think is interesting about Fist is when you look at some of these factions that we see different iterations of over time, like DX, NWO. You see these different groupings, and each one of them is a part of that group, but they feel like they've got their own different vibe to them. And I feel like the two iterations, the past and the present of Fist, you got the same exact vibe from both groups. And
right.
not that that's a bad thing, that's a great thing. The future version of Fist really kind of complimented and almost honored the previous version of Fist, where here were guys that just did not care how much you hated them. They were going to go out there and have their own brand of heel fun no matter what.
Right.
Indeed.
Very cool. All right, next
number 3.
we got
Yep.
Danger.
Probably gonna butcher the pronunciation because I normally just call him Lij, but Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Oh yeah.
Naito, Hiromu,
Yep.
Shingo. I love Shingo. Shingo's one of my favorite wrestlers. So yeah, I gotta go. And just like their attitude, like their vibe in the ring, like that carefree. I don't care. Like I'm whatever. I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna beat you up. Like I'm gonna try. But I also don't really care, and I don't like this place. And I'm like, I just love that attitude. Like
Yeah.
just so cool.
There's a reason that they're known internationally, because that kind of level of coolness just translates to everyone.
Yeah.
And when you see that, you're just like, I may not feel the same way about everything, but I just want to be as cool as those guys.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it translates through like the language barrier. Like you might not like understand the promos, but like you get it as soon as you see them, like in the ring and like at press conferences. Like you get it. Like
very
Absolutely.
cool thing.
Yeah.
All right, Thunder,
Thunder.
finish us off at 3.
So for 3, this was hard. I kind of wanted to put them at 2, but I'm going with the Bullet Club.
All right.
Bullet Club.
Wow.
Just
Going with the biggest group.
they just reach members through almost every promotion, world champions. It's so hard not to put them at 2, even at 1. But
Well, it's crazy because they've been together now for like going on 10 years, and they've just always found a way to just keep evolving and just have like an open and closed door of like members. Like I think that's what NWO should have done back in the day if they wanted to stay relevant, is constantly evolve, not just expand.
yeah.
And I like the fact that when you look at the Bullet Club and you look at everyone that eventually moves on from the Bullet Club, they all become huge stars.
Absolutely, yeah.
because they were all, they were huge stars going in, and we may not have known how big they could get, but everybody becomes these big huge stars when they kind of make their exit, and I like the way I like when they kick out leaders. I think that's I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
it's very unique to them as a group. It's interesting to say. Yeah, definitely.
It's like if you're leading that group, you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, I know
much.
it's coming, I just don't know when.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right, going on to number 2 now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh boy, it's getting serious now.
Yeah. It's getting harder now.
This is gonna be another weird one. I'm sorry. I'm
Don't
gonna
be
say
sorry.
the Brood. The Brood.
Ooh, the Brood. That's a great pick.
The
That's not
Brood
weird.
was
That's
so
amazing.
cool.
That's a great pick.
Brood.
Their theme song was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love
the
entrance, the vampire aesthetic, the blood, all of it was just so flippin' cool. Like I was like kind of heavy into Vampire the Masquerade back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And the Brood just spoke to me. Yeah, it was awesome seeing those dudes go. Like, talk about a trio that I'd like to face. Let's go. Let's
right.
Yes.
I would pay to see that one more time. Bring back Edge, Christian, and Gangrel. Do it at like a local indie show against the Cyberhawks. Book that match.
Yeah.
We gotta let's go. We gotta LVAC management. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the Brood probably had my favorite entrance of all time because the whole thing was just, I mean, enthralling. The bloodbaths when they would just
those were so cool too. Yeah,
just very cool. And it gave us Christian, who's a favorite of mine, so that's always good.
Yeah,
yes,
mine too.
No doubt.
All right, Danger.
All right. I'm gonna go with the Colony.
All right, there we go.
I have to. I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, they're up there.
Absolutely.
Just like watching all their work over the years and like sharing the ring with them too. Like a few of them, like Soldier, Silver, Fire. It kind of just like blows my mind, like how they're able to, like, especially like chaining and wrestling around. Like, how do you know these many holds? How do you keep these many holds in your brain?
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. So I gotta give them the respect. I gotta put them at number 2. And they've had some like my favorite indie matches like ever. So they gotta go with at least number 2.
They're another group similar to like the last one, where they also, like Bull Club, always evolve. And because like Ultimo said in his episode, ants have to evolve at some point. So they kind of have to evolve the food chain. So to have them go from green ant to peep ant to electro ant to all these different iterations and they keep themselves relevant is cool that they keep themselves for that long.
Yeah, and like there's so many of them,
There's so many.
I find
that
that cool too. Like so many of them, they all have like different personalities, different looks.
Yeah.
Like I love that for a faction. Like obviously NWO there was a lot of them, but they were all like just dudes. Like I like that. Like there's all these different characters. It feels like a comic book kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
That might be a hint to something in the future, but
Ooh.
Well, and I will say I think they had one of the best sort of seasonal arc storylines, with them trying to get the acceptance from Fire Ant and it finally coming through, and then I was in that building when they won King of Trios, and that place just went insane because you had such a great story building up to it.
It was great. It was absolutely great.
Yeah.
Yep. Someone I know, maybe me, maybe not, might have shed a tear that day.
Oh, yes.
Dude, that was just such an emotional weekend. Like that whole weekend, having that whole story with Ken, the Resistance, make it to the end because they were still sort of infighting all along up to the very end, where they all got on the same page and all got it done. But they were still infighting even day one.
Yeah.
So like seeing them go from still fighting to finally getting on the same page to win the whole thing and win the whole entire shebang is just a cool moment.
Yeah,
totally.
All right, one more
Thunder.
number 2. Yep.
Number 2. Honestly, it's funny. I kind of want to put them number 1.
Your list is all over the place right now, man.
Yeah. I'm not even confident in my own picks, man. But number 2, I went with the Shield.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
The Shield. Just
Okay.
moment I first seen them, attitude, look,
Right.
jumping everybody. It's like, oh my God, it's like, where these guys come from? And then, they all eventually start just running through the roster and winning championships. And then individually, their careers may be even better than they were with the Shield. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I put them 2. And the reason I didn't put them 1 was because they broke up. Like,
Well, yeah, of course.
so I couldn't-
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that was one of those rare times where we didn't see NXT people come up to the main roster and just be
They were one of the
wasted
first
or
ones.
fail.
yeah.
They were one of the first
Yeah.
ones to like really hit the main event scene and really hit it big. And like you said, like as much as they were good together, like look at how they are now apart. You
Yeah.
have the undisputed champion Roman Reigns, who's been now champion for almost going on 4 years now, that's neither here nor there. You have Rollins, who's now been the World Heavyweight Champion, and he's doing well. And then you have Moxley, who took AEW by storm and is now in the BCC.
Yeah.
Like, they all succeeded so much, even apart, as well as they were when they were together.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest thing for me is that individual success,
Mhm.
and especially Moxley, him leaving and honestly
Yeah.
being bigger than he was in WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget when they first showed up at Survivor Series, they were wearing those cool turtlenecks.
Yeah.
So
they
it's all
started
about-
they started the trend before Christian Cage started the trend.
That's right. You borrowed it from them. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
delightful.
Yeah.
All right,
so
it's
this
time
means
for
we're-
number 1,
Yeah,
man.
this means we're at
We're-
the top here.
We're here. We made it to the end.
I'm
Yep.
excited.
Number
So am I.
one. Number
All right.
one.
Is this
Number
one going to be
one.
weird too?
Well, Danger stole my my pick. Danger put my number 1 at number 2.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I was gonna say I'd like honestly like the Colony, like give the Colony their due, right? But
Mhm.
we got another one we could put in number 1.
Okay.
Blackpool Combat Club.
Hey.
Good call.
Okay.
For a whole variety of reasons.
Yeah.
They're just so damn gritty, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you believe these dudes want to just like go out there and hurt people, and it's just
Oh yeah.
like I mean I sure believe, like, I talk with one on a regular basis and tends to want to hurt people.
Yeah.
So it's, they're just so freaking gritty, and they've just done such a great thing for factions as a whole. Like, I don't
Right.
know, AEW's got some sick factions, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Agreed.
BCC is just like alpha and omega there.
Mhm.
Uh,
Absolutely.
I do feel a little bad for Yuta because every backstage promo you see with them, Cesaro's just beating the holy out of him every single time.
he deserves it. Yeah,
Listen,
it's wild. Like seeing Claudio just.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
like, always seeing Claudio is just always a joy, right? But like,
Right.
from like the BDK to BCC, it's like he's in his element,
Oh yeah.
mhm.
flipping element, and it's just great. Yeah, so good times.
He is one of I think we always use this term on the show,
Yes.
missed opportunities.
Mhm.
And I think he is one of the biggest missed opportunities that I have ever seen, because I feel like every major promotion everywhere should be fighting for this guy.
Oh,
Like they
absolutely.
should all be fighting to get this guy on
He
their
should have already
roster.
been a multiple-time world champion in WWE already, and it's
Oh,
a
100%.
shame
Yeah.
that he
Yeah,
wasn't.
They
Totally
just
agree.
Yeah.
had no idea what they were looking for or what they
Yep.
had. And
Yeah.
you add that to Bryan Danielson, who is, we saw glimpses of how good he could be in WWE, but moving to somewhere like AEW, he gets to be the Bryan Danielson that he always wanted to be. The
Yep.
same guy
Yeah.
we saw in the Indies.
He's my goat.
Yeah, we already talked
I
about
go-
Moxley a little bit, and he's just ridiculous as well. And Wheeler Yuta's like this untapped talent that people just haven't really seen. I don't think we've seen as great as he can be yet. I think there's so much more.
Oh,
for
100%.
him,
Sky's the limit.
it's so neat to see because it's like the Randy Orton role in Evolution, where now
Right.
you've got this Wheeler Yuta who's just this untapped potential. But yeah, they're absolutely one of the best things about AEW on a whole.
Oh, yeah.
Very good number one.
All right, Danger.
Really good.
All right, well,
Number one. Can you top Razor's number one?
oh, for sure.
Of course I
Like,
can. Here it comes. Here it comes.
it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I had to go with the Spirit Squad.
Oh, wow.
I'm kidding.
I was
I'm-
not
I'm- I'm
expecting
kidding.
that
I'm-
one.
It's
I'm
about
kidding.
time they get their due.
I'm kidding.
No.
No.
Razor almost went into shock for a second.
Wow. Mickey is doing the Running Man somewhere right now in celebration over this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Dude.
god, the Spirit Squad.
Oh,
Damn,
what a
Those poor
callback.
guys never get their
What a
due.
callback.
Oh.
No, I had to throw that in there because this might be anticlimactic, but I went with the Shield.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay. All right. Listen, it's not a bad choice. It's not a bad
Yeah.
choice at all.
No.
Yeah, I just vividly remember that time, and like it felt like
Mhm.
when they showed up, it felt different. It felt like something was happening. And then that first that TLC match, it was like them versus like Kane, Ryback, and
Yeah.
Danielson. Like it was like, oh, this is like something's about to happen. Like it felt
Mhm.
like an era was like changing, and like WWE was about to pick back up
Right.
just from that match alone. Like it was like before that, I was disinterested in the product. And like I was kind of done with it, and then when those guys showed up and had that match, it was like okay. And then like the Shield match, it just kept getting better. And I mean the Shield match, sorry, the match with the
Oh,
Wyatt.
that was still
Yes.
one of the best faction feuds, I think, still to this day, is the Shield versus the Wyatts.
Right, it just
Yeah.
kept getting better and better. And Kane and
Mhm.
Danielson and Undertaker, like I've never seen trios matches at that high of a level
Yeah.
Right?
in WWE be like that, just that hype. Like
Yeah.
the crowds were into it. Like
Yep.
it kind of just blew my mind. Like I didn't think that would ever happen in WWE. I feel like they're kind of like a singles wrestlers company.
Right.
So
Yeah.
to see that, it was like this is like really cool. Like this is awesome.
Yeah, they definitely felt different, and like you said, it brought you back into the product because it was something that was different, that was unexpected, and just the talent level there again off the charts.
Yeah, and the match quality, like the
Yeah.
trios matches and the 8-man tags in WWE,
Right.
like they kind of have the same formula,
Yeah.
same kind of style. Like they're not really like they're not supposed to be that good. That
Yeah.
good, you know. What I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, what is happening right now? You know?
Right.
Yeah, they wrestled together very well as a trio. They
Mhm.
did a lot of things that complemented each other. They each had their own sort of stylistic role, and you could definitely see that in each of them, where they all played their part. But then when it was time for them to really come together, I mean, the triple power bomb just became such a thing.
Yeah, it was like the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Well, that
We
leaves
saved the
us
best
to
for last, right?
the one more number one. I'm excited for this one.
Here we are.
Don't let us down, nerd.
Oh man.
If it's
Come on,
not the oddities, I'm gonna
Okay,
be
okay.
disappointed.
Oh man. So number one, I had to go with the New Day.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
All
All
right.
That's a great
right.
pick. That's a
respect
great
You
pick.
guys are fantastic pick.
That is
Yeah.
You know,
Fantastic pick.
that brotherhood, they never even showed signs of breaking up
No.
in the
Mhm.
longest tag title reign.
Yep.
Putting on great quality matches as well. Their matches with the Usos. Who else? Plenty more, but the Usos match really stuck out to me the most.
Mhm.
Those are like some of my favorite tag matches. The one I believe it was SummerSlam pre-show. That was probably my favorite Uso and New Day tag match.
The
That was-
pre-show?
I believe it was on a
Yeah,
pre-show.
I think it was on a pre-show. Yeah.
2017.
No, you're right, because those were the days where even the best guys got the pre-show.
Yeah,
matches,
Mhm.
And it was just kind of
Yeah.
sad.
There's a whole
Yeah,
lot
they
of that.
put on a freaking. They put like a 5-star match on a pre-show, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, the New Day are on a whole other level, which is funny because if you remember back in 2014 when they first were going to debut, they were not even close to what they were actually going to be. They were
Yeah,
like these like church-going, like preachy
Yeah, choir boys. Yeah.
choir
And-
boys
Mhm.
that went from that to let's just have fun with it and just be goofballs and be positive about it.
yeah, and it
And we-
worked. Like they end up like selling like #1 in merch, I believe, as well.
Oh yeah, they went all
I
out with
had
the merch.
Burrito
Yeah,
cereal.
Oh.
yeah. Oh, dude, I
was
bought it. I
delicious.
ate it. I have no shame. Yeah.
Yeah, they. I mean, I like to think of them as like the Chris Jericho of trios because they continue
Right.
to stay the same, but still constantly reinvent themselves in ways that
Mhm.
just makes it fresh. I mean, coming down to the ring with an ice cream cart, throwing
Yeah.
pancakes into the stands, like the stuff they do is just like the what they do, like the was it the Dragon Ball outfits?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That was
you know,
fantastic.
they just do
That
such
was so cool.
stuff. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we
Mhm.
mentioned this once on the show before, but I actually liked them when they were in the choir. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I thought here we've got Reverend Devon all over again. I
Yeah,
was
bro. Oh my
excited.
God, Reverend Devon. Jeez.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
no, they are the. I mean,
Deacon
you-
Batista.
Deacon Batista. Listen,
Yes. Yeah.
everyone has to start somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
and with the New Day, you never really see a bad match from them. They,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
they always
No.
go out there and they
Yeah,
just
so
hit it
good.
out of the park.
And
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken, they were the ones that brought back the Freebird rule when they won the belts,
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
where
yeah.
anybody
Mhm.
can be a team, as long as they're a team, they can
Yeah.
still hold the belts.
still hold the belts. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I love that rule. That rule makes it so unique. It's always so different. And
We
I
definitely
think that
should. We should definitely take that if we get some tag titles.
absolutely you
Oh,
should.
that's a
Yeah.
great
Absolutely you should.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah, because you're already birds.
Exactly.
I mean, it's right there in the.
It's in the name.
It's in the name.
Right
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, when you think about greatest factions, you almost never think of the New Day because like you always think of them as like these tag team champions and
Yeah.
tag team
Mhm.
specialists, and you sometimes you forget like, hey, this is like a faction here as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an excellent
That's-
#1 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
very
also
good.
played both like babyface and heel pretty
Yeah.
well as well.
Very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a heel first, and
Yeah,
it was
Mhm.
one of those things where they were so over that they just became natural faces.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. You couldn't help but like them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a trio of top fives for a
Woo!
trio episode, getting all three Cyberhawks together on a podcast for the first time. So great top fives from everybody. I can't
Yeah.
say there was a bad pick in the bunch. I'm sad that we didn't hear anything about the oddities or the Main Street Posse, but the
I'm a
Spirit
little,
Squad shout out was
sad
good.
that I'm a little sad that wasn't a true #1.
Corporate ministry. Corporate
Yeah.
ministry should have been. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. So
Did have good
having yes. So having wrapped up our main event here, before we let you guys go, we are going to take a look at some upcoming events.
Indeed.
All right. As you can tell, we like to dance during our own videos.
Nice.
We do that literally every time.
It's terrible. Well, anyways.
So why don't you tell us, Hawks, what's coming down the pipeline for you guys?
Well, shoot. Let's see here.
Gotta pull up the old calendar there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm literally what I'm doing right now here.
Booked and busy.
Yeah. So, what I've got here, November 19th, we're going to be at Demand Lucha's Masked by Midnight,
Hey.
which is going to be at Lee's Palace in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Ooh.
That's going to be Fly. Yep.
Yeah.
Myself and Danjerhawk are going to be taking on Los Medicos, the Royal Tag Team Champions. So we're going to try and take those tag belts and free bird them up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thunderhawk is also on that card, taking on the Stallion Kid.
Ooh.
A little one-on-one action. That's going to be Fly.
Right.
I thought for
Yeah.
sure you were going to be putting a scramble. I'm shocked.
That's great. That's great.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Proud of you, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's just your Canadian debut, one-on-one match.
Yeah.
What?
It- I'm very, very excited and very nervous. First
Yeah.
time leaving the country.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
So,
big deal, man. Big deal.
yeah. I couldn't be more excited for this.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
You guys are taking Canada by storm.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Let's see, do I have anything else? I don't. Yeah, no, that's all I've got on my calendar.
Oh, wow.
There were rumblings of a restival thing, maybe, but that's we're still in talks. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Right on.
TBA.
Any of y'all got anything else?
Actually, yes, we do. Next month is I'm proud to. I mean, I've been announcing it, but I'm proud to finally announce it.
Yeah.
Next month is the Monster Factory series. We are doing 4 weeks of Monster Factory people. Gonna interview the coach himself as well, Danny Cage.
Oh, cool.
We got the classy wrestler Max Sterling on deck as the first one next week.
He's a great guy. I know him.
Yeah,
He's
We
very
have-
classy.
very
Yes.
very classy, the classiest. We also have the arena champion Xander Alexander on the show. Then we have the MFW Tag Team Champions, the newly crowned named Body Snatchers, being Marvelous and the God of Dad Bod.
Oh,
Mm.
Very-
I think
very
he
cool.
has my favorite wrestling name currently of all time.
Yeah. It
He is the God of Dad Bod. It's just marvelous.
That's pretty well. It is,
Uh,
it is and Marvelous is his tag team partner. So
Yes.
that's just fantastic.
I also do have the week before the Man Lucha show. I'll
Mhm.
be at Pro Wrestling R
Ooh,
oh,
New
snap.
Yeah, that's right.
in New Jersey.
okay.
I'll
Where,
be in
where in Jersey?
it's called Gloucester.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Gloucester,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. Yeah,
Gloucester.
yeah.
Okay, I'm not.
Should be
I'm
Gloucester.
not- Gloucester.
Yeah.
New Jersey's got some weird city names.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
with when I was going to York for college, everyone would say Lancaster. I'm like, no, it's Lancaster.
Yeah, I
It's
say
not,
that.
it's not
I say both.
Lancaster.
Yeah.
I've said both. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of saying both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing there?
I'm going to be in a Lucky 7 Scramble.
Ooh.
So it's apparently it's a gauntlet. So
Okay.
one person comes out, then all 7 competitors come out at intervals, and then once all 7 are in, the match starts, and whoever wins, I believe, gets like a choice, a golden ticket type deal, like a choice where
Okay.
you can challenge for any title
Oh,
Nice.
or any match that you want. So fingers crossed on that. Try to
Yeah.
get another title.
That's very cool.
And December
Awesome.
1st, I'll be at NFW.
Okay.
Nice.
very
That
cool.
is at, I believe that's going to be at the Mecca in Ridgefield Park.
Gotcha.
Don't know what I'll be doing on that
That's it.
show, like who I'll be wrestling,
Right.
but I will.
But I will be there.
I will be there,
Yeah.
flipping on somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thunder,
What about you,
got
Thunder? Anything else on tap for you?
Nah, just the Canada thing, and maybe the rest of the.
It's just
That's it.
just kind of taking it easy for the rest of the year. Hanging out.
It's the holidays, man.
I got
Yeah, right.
I
just
got
gonna
some video
chill.
games on tap. I don't really have time for wrestling.
Gotta get that video game backlog out.
I mean, he's not wrong.
The queue's getting
He's
long.
not wrong.
Gotta make some room for the new stuff coming, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You do. No,
Holiday
you do.
releases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Speaking of
speaking
holidays,
of speaking of holidays, yeah,
Ooh.
we've got I've got
yeah.
one announcement we've already made.
Yeah.
We will be having a very special Christmas episode. It is entitled "We Wish You a Dirtbag Christmas," and our guest will be Dirtbag Dan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we're very excited
yeah.
for that, and we haven't announced any details yet, but we do have a very special New Year's Eve episode coming up that we will be announcing details about
Stay
soon.
tuned for that.
We're very excited for that, and of course, if you want to find out where you can see each of these Xyberhawks individually or by themselves or as a trio, definitely follow them on social media, and I'm sure they will have all the information there for you. So as things come about, you can
and check out Xyberhawx.com.
Hey.
Yes.
Buy our merch.
Right.
We got new shirts.
That's
New
great
design.
merch.
Yeah.
And
Very
the new
cool.
Cyberhawks YouTube channel. There's a
Oh,
bunch of matches
all right.
Excellent.
All right.
on there.
Man,
Yep.
you guys are just killing it.
Just throwing it out, man.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That's awesome. All right. So we want to thank our very special guests joining us today together on a podcast for the first time. Thunderhawk, Danjerhawk, and returning guest Razerhawk
Hey.
of the Xyberhawks. And thanks for coming on today. It was a very fun time getting to chat a little bit, learn a little bit
Absolutely.
about you guys, and so we thank you guys for coming, and we will talk to you guys soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys so much. It was a blast.
We'll
Okay.
speak to you guys in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that was quite an episode. A lot of fun.
That was an amazing episode. That was first time ever we had all three Cyberhawks on one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
that
cool.
was very cool. Have all three of them, and obviously the returning Razerhawk from
Yeah.
that
Very
episode.
cool.
If you haven't heard that one, go check it out. Episode
Yeah.
11. Do it.
Absolutely. And in addition to the Cyberhawks, we also want to thank our listeners for once again joining us here on the Opinion City podcast with myself and Parma-hawk. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll follow us on social media at Opinion City Pod, and please tell your friends, family, colleagues, complete strangers, and
Complete
if you see anybody
Off
from
the
the Spirit
street.
Squad, tell them as well, because
Yeah,
the Spirit Squad
tell
needs
them
to
as
know
well.
that they were a part of this episode.
Yes.
And of
they
course,
will love
again,
that.
please like, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Be sure to check out our previous episodes as well as let us know your opinions on those, as well as this week's episode. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, or X, Instagram, also Threads, at Opinion City Pod on all the socials. This has been a Mancast number production, and we will see you guys next week.
This is Ultimo Ann here. You're listening to Opinion City Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy trails.